Hello guys and welcome to another video in the administrative law series, and today we are going to learn about important cases with regards to the administrative law. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's look into the first case, that is A.K. Krayappak versus Union of India. In this case, there was an advertisement which was posted by the government. Okay, this was for the post of Chief Conservative of the Forest. Okay, many candidates herein applied, okay, including the acting chief conservative of the forest. When the interview was finally conducted, the judgment panel, okay, the one who were judging and conducting the interview also included the acting chief conservative of the forest. Later on, there was another candidate called as A.K. Krayap. He later on filed a case against them, saying that a justice was not being done, as the acting chief conservative of the forest was also present on the panel. Therefore, it created a sort of bias against the other candidates. The acting chief conservative officer later contended that he was not on the judging panel when his interview was being conducted. Okay, so according to him, when the acting officer's interview was being conducted, he was not on the judging panel and he was judged by his peers anyways. Okay, later on the court held that the acting chief conservative officer must have some of the influence on the judging panels, as they are his own peers. Okay, and therefore the maxim of nemo dead es judex in propria sequasa was thus applied. Now let's look into another case of the personal bias. Let's look into the case of Mineral Development Corporation Limited versus State of Bihar. In this case, the government of Bihar granted licenses for 99 years to carry out mining activities. Okay. By 1953, the government sent a notice asking them why license should not be cancelled. Okay, so the government sent these people notice saying that why your license should not be cancelled, because it was said that the company was violating the rules and safety measures and the section 13 and 14 of the Mining Act, okay, was being affected. The company lawyer then replied back saying that they have not done anything which is violative of section 13 and 14 of the Mining Act. After 2 years, the government cancelled the license. Okay, the government as a whole cancelled the license and the mineral development came to the court. Okay, it also said that the owner of the Mineral Development Limited had stood for elections against the present minister who had sent this notice. Thus, it was assumed and later proved that this was an act of revenge. The court therefore quashed down and neglected the state decision by cancelling the license, as it was a personal bias. Now let's look into a case of pecuniary bias. We have already dealt with an important case over here, that is Gigi Boy versus Assistant Collector, in our original video of natural justice. Now let's look into another case of Mahopatra and Company versus State of Orissa. In this case, what had happened was a government had set up a committee which was supposed to decide whose books will be distributed in the schools. This is for the purpose of the textbooks. The committee was supposed to select one author from a pool of many authors. But what happened in this case was the author who selected is the one who was already involved in the selecting committee. Therefore, Mahopatra filed a case against the state of Orissa, saying that the author selected has the tendency to select his own name. Therefore, this case is a lot similar to that of A.K. Krayappak. So, the select committee already had the judge and the candidate as well. Let's look into another case of Gullappally, Nageshwar Rao versus Andhra Pradesh Statehood Transport Corporation. The government of Andhra Pradesh decided to nationalize the transport. Okay, that is, no private buses should be therefore run, but only the government buses belonging to this Andhra Pradesh Statehood Transport Corporation. Private Buses Association therefore went against this decision, saying that there are loans of the buses which are need to be repaid and every job will be thus lost. They raised a petition against them. Nageshwar Rao therefore said that the government should hear them. Okay, the government gave them an opportunity and agreed to listen to the grievances. The secretary to the minister of the transport department heard the grievance. The secretary was least bothered to listen to him and ignored it completely, because the secretary himself was involved in the interaction of the main decision of nationalizing the buses. Therefore, the court held that there is an element of bias with the secretary. Next is the case of Swadeshi Cotton Mill versus Union of India. In this case, it was held that the natural justice cannot have a precise definition. Therefore, it will vary from place to place and content to content. Again, in another case of Devdutt versus Union of India, it was said that what is fairness depends on the situation of the case, like asking questions and the answer. On that basis of the fairness can be decided. Now let's look into some cases of exception with regards to natural justice. In the case of Radhakrishnan versus the Osmania University, in this case there was a charge of mass copying in the MBA university, and the university cancelled and reconducted the examination. The student went to the court and said that their rights have been violated, and according to them, they were honestly and sincerely writing the paper. But according to the court, the decision taken by the university was practical, and this is for the betterment for the education in the society. In another case of Andhra Steel Company versus Andhra State Electricity Board, in this case what happened was the Andhra State Electricity Board gave concession to the Andhra Steel Company. Okay, after some years they stopped giving the concession to the steel company. The steel company approached the court. The steel company approached the court with their grievances. The court decided that all this time till the concession was given, it was not stopped. Therefore, they enjoyed the concession and should therefore their rights are not violated in any way. Let's look into another case of Hyderabad Vanaspati versus state of Andhra Pradesh. In this case, what had happened was the electricity department held a person for robbing electricity. Okay, thus hearing was not given to him because the court held that in certain cases urgent action should be taken. In the case of Karnataka Service Public Commission versus BM Vijay Shankar, in this case what had happened was there was a competitive exam which was being conducted in the state civil services. The students, that is the candidates, were given instructions that they should write their roll number only on the first page, okay, and not anywhere else in the booklet itself. What a particular student in this case did was that he wrote his roll number on every page. Okay, so the examiners, they cancelled his paper as a whole. When the candidate went to the court asking for the relief, the court held that this is purely a administrative action and therefore there is no need for a hearing to be conducted. Now let's look into some cases with regards to Audi Alterum Partem or fair hearing rule. Okay, the first case we are going to refer here is of Joseph Villangadan versus executive engineer. In this case, what had happened was there was an engineer who had been working for many years under contract for the Kerala Public Works Department. Okay, in this particular situation, there were certain contracts under him which were pending. Okay, and therefore there was certain work under the as per the contract which were pending, which were to be done by Mr. Joseph. So what the government official did was they passed an order which stated that Mr. Joseph has committed a breach of contract, and even worse, he was added to a blacklist. So when in any sort of profession you are added to a blacklist, it is causing not only harm to your profession as well but also your livelihood. Okay, so Mr. Joseph filed a writ petition stating that, okay, to look into the order. During this course of arguments, it was found out that the government themselves has committed the breach by the failure to supply necessary materials for the contract. Okay, so basically the government themselves failed to provide materials, failed to provide the supplied which were required to complete the contract. Okay, and therefore Mr. Joseph was not able to do the work which was pending as per the government. Therefore, it was held that the order needs to be reversed. Again, in the case of State of Karnataka versus Mangalore University Non-Teaching Employees Association, in this case what had happened was an employer of a certain institution deposited a certain sum of money in an account. Okay, I'll explain this case in very simple format. What had happened in this case was there was A and there was B. Okay, so A here is a government employee, okay, and B here is, for example, a teacher. Okay, so what happened in this case was A, who was a government employee, had to deposit certain amount in a person's account. Okay, so instead of depositing the amount in the person's in a certain person's account, A deposited the money in the account of B. Okay, so later on what happened was A realized his mistake, that okay, I deposited the amount in a wrong person's account, and A, without the permission of B, removed the amount from B's account. Okay, and later on B filed a case saying that a certain amount was removed from my account, okay, by so and so individual. In the case, the court said that the money did not belong to B anyway, so it is fine when A removed the amount from the account. Therefore, in this case of State of Karnataka versus Mangalore University Non-Teaching Employees Association, the decision, even though made sense, later on another case would appear which will change the approach. Therefore, in the case of Union of India versus Narendra Singh, the court held that suppose a mistake takes place in a decision making process, and later on if the mistake has been realized, in such a case the notice must be given to a particular individual saying that a certain mistake has been done. Okay, so in such a case the notice is need to be given so that the correction can be made, and if some person is affected, the opportunity of the notice should be shown, of a show cause notice should be shown. Therefore, if we go back to the case of State of Karnataka versus Mangalore Non-Teaching Association, it was the duty of the government official to give a notice to B, that is A, who was the government official in this case, should have given notice to Mr. B saying that okay, for so many months I have been depositing the money in your account wrongfully, therefore I will be withdrawing the money, or such a opportunity or so cause notice should be given to B. Okay, that's what it is saying right here. Now let's look into another case of Errington versus Minister of Health. In this case, what had happened was the government decided that a certain building is not in a good condition and therefore it needs to be demolished. Further, what happened was the department inspected the building in the presence of the owner. Later on, organized the demolition without the presence of the owner. And so that's all for today's video. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.